My name is Felix Holst, and I'm an artist. So this summer, I really wanted to change it up with what I was painting. I still wanted to to paint a race car. I still love those big balloon fat tires. Um, and as I was cruising through some of my kind of inspiration photographs, I stumbled across the P3, P4 Ferraris, and for me, they're like some of the most beautiful cars of all time. Never mind most beautiful race cars. I would almost say that they are a contender for most beautiful race car of all time. Um, Something about the way the curves drape over the wheels. You've got that bubble cockpit in the center of the car. Obviously, the heritage with the mid-mounted V12, longitudinal V12, and the way that the bodywork just seems to drape over the key elements of a race car. But it's more than that. The proportion, the curves, the way the headlamps are sunk into the front fenders, the way the small fins on the front corners are integrated into the overall design, and then of course the big fat tires on gold wheels. Like, there's something about this car which is just perfection. Um, I've shied away from painting cars like this because my favorite cars of all time, E-Type Jag, 356 Porsche, P3, P4 Ferrari, they're all voluptuous. And to paint voluptuous automotive curves in acrylic is incredibly difficult. To get the fade, the very subtle fade, to make those curves correct is something which I've been scared to do, and frankly didn't think I was good enough to do. So this painting started as it was both an homage to one of the most beautiful cars that I can think of, but also it was a challenge for me to really step it up in terms of technical ability, and trying to capture the motion and energy in the way that I do, but also bring the subtlety in to the form and the curves of something which is, very definitely feminine and very definitely voluptuous and very definitely like this kind of sensuous curves, of the coach building on these cars. So, this era of Ferrari, I believe the earlier rendition, was the last time Ferrari won Le Mans. I think that was the LM250. These cars were very successful at tracks like Monza, um, and these were genuine, like, 200 mile an hour cars in the someone someone will debate that with me, but they were, they were 200 mile an hour race cars in the late 60s. And the thing that really excites me about these cars is the notion that these things are the sculptural beauty of these cars mixed with the brute horsepower, the brute power of that V12 motor sat behind the driver, and the sheer velocity that race cars of this era carried. And so trying to blend the silky smooth bulbous curves of perfection in 60s coach building with the violence and the absolute straight line grunt of these race cars, is really where I've gone here. The car is not cornering, it's going flat out straight ahead. um, I've tried to capture the not just the car, but the dynamics and the light and the sound of those cars when they're really just foot to the floor down the straightaway in tracks like Monza, um, and really bringing out the sound and energy in color, which is something which I always strive to do.